I feel like I just opened one of these a couple of weeks ago, but I got another Scrawlrbox. Hi everyone, if you're new here, my name is Sally and I'm a mixed media artist in Australia, and if you're not new here, welcome back. Today I am opening up box 113. Yeah, 113, which is the January 2025 Scrawlrbox, which is an art subscription box from the UK. It is a box full of mystery art supplies plus a zine to give you all the information and ideas about how to use your new art supplies to make some art. So let's unbox the box and let's see what's inside and make some art. All right, now the cockatoos have been screaming all morning, so you may hear them in the background, and I apologize for that. But there is just no working around them at the moment. They're so crazy. All right, what have we got this month? ScrawlrZine 113. Ooh, markers. Faber Castell 6 creative marker. All right. So I've got a little bullet nib there. Maple syrup. Yummy. What was that shade name? All right, we've got maple syrup, blackout, plum cake, Caribbean blue, lucky green, and ocean blue. Nice color palette. And then we also have a posca in white. This looks short. Do they do a smaller size? Little bullet nib. Let me just check. Yeah, this is a posca that I bought. Look, it's a little short one. I've never seen one this size before. And then we have a Unipin fineliner in 0.3. You see that? Little nib. 0.3 is a nice, very versatile size. And we have a little sticker. Cute. And our candy is an sour bazooka apple sour chewy candy. All right, I'm gonna put that aside. Move these. Give the tissue paper to Echo. Right. Look at this. This is our artist print. I don't know, is it like tattoos and lots of maybe. Okay, maybe giving that tissue paper to Echo was a mistake. It's just very loud here today. All the creatures have lots to do. All right, our featured artist is Frankie Curtis, an artist with an overactive imagination, born and bred in Southeast London. And that is their website and socials. Our surface is a 5 white card, 250 GSM, 10 sheets. This is a very smooth surface, perfect for markers. And let's have a quick flip through of the ScrawlrZine. We have some of the characters on the front there. Little legend. Yeah, they must have done, I don't know if this is a special size just for the Scrawlrbox or if Posca now do these little mini sizes. I'm really not sure. If anyone knows, let me know. Our sit down with featured artist Frankie Curtis. Scrawler tips tips about how to use the markers and surfaces. Deep dive warm up with markers. We have another little look at the artist and some of their tips. Scrawler Gallery, Scrawlrbox 111, Mythical Monsters. Oh, this was the day that I met the Mothman. Yeah, watch that video if you haven't seen it already. It was a really interesting day. I love this phoenix. What was that, Echo? Was that Cocky? And our top 3. Congrats. Oh, this kitty cat. So cute. Scrawler Extra. Scrawler Challenges of the Past. Echo. That portrait of Ice Cube is amazing. Back to life, from the frescoes of Michelangelo's Sistine Chapel to Van Gogh's vivid oil painting, centuries-old artwork. Oh, restoration. Who was I talking to about restoration of paintings recently? I just had a conversation about this. I can't remember who it was with. And our prompt this month is Fantasy Forest. Well, I kind of live in the forest, and maybe we can do something about this screeching cockatoos. Something about the birds, maybe? What can we make? What can we make with all these colours? This is giving kookaburra, this colour palette to me. All right, let me put my thinking cap on. We'll swatch everything out and make some art. All right, we're going to start off swatching with our fineliner. The Unipin fineliners are fantastic. They're light resistant, water resistant, really great pigment and in the ink. And now we're going into our Faber Castell creative markers. Now, when I first opened these, I thought they were like a felt tip marker, just like a regular water-based marker, but they're actually a paint marker, which I was super surprised about because they're very, very light. They have a hard bullet shape, like bullet tip nib, and they don't have like a ball bearing or anything like that in like the poscas. And I just was not expecting it to be a paint marker, but they are. And then we've got our posca. Whoops, it never usually comes out that quick. So that was a mistake. So a little mishap with our posca, but I thought I would just test it and see how they layer up on the Faber Castell paint markers. And as we know, the poscas are really great quality. I usually hold it down to get the ink flowing, but it doesn't backfired on me this time. So absolutely no issues getting the white paint of the posca to cover the coloured paint of the Faber Castell creative markers. And I thought I would see if I could do some blending. But like I said, the bullet nibs on these are quite stiff and they tear up the paper if you do a lot of layers. So that's just something to keep in mind. Not so great on the paper. Now I had a couple of ideas for this box and this prompt. The prompt was Fantasy Forest, and like I mentioned in the unboxing, I live in a very foresty area and have always felt very at home amongst the trees. It's where I feel the most calm and peaceful, and I also have a lot of birds in the area, which you definitely will hear the cockatoos in my voiceovers from time to time because they are so incredibly loud and like I just can't work around them sometimes. But the colour palette of the Faber Castell pens was giving me kookaburra. So what I decided to do is, this is actually a reference of a photo of me back from when I was in high school. And that photo always gave very Twin Peaks kind of vibes. And if you've been watching my videos lately, like all I can talk about is David Lynch and the massive impact that he had on me. And once again, we are using him as inspiration. So I decided to do a simple kind of line drawing with the Unipin fineliner using that reference of me. And I'll pop it on the screen so you can see what that's all about. And then I decided to, once I figured out that the markers were actually paint markers, I put some in a palette and used a bit of water to dilute them and then painted them onto the page almost like a watercolor. And I used that to do the body of the kookaburra, and then I just went in directly with the pen to add some more details. And I used that watered down paint. I mixed the black and the blue to do my clothing in the illustration, but I wanted it to be a very simple line drawing. So then I had this other idea, because where's the forest, right? I wanted to do a painting of the forest that's right near where I live now. This is from a photo that I took at the end of my street. And I decided to use the paints from the palette watered down, like to give like a watercolor effect to do the forest. These markers are a water-based paint marker, and you can also use them not only on paper and cardboard, but you can use them on glass, plastic, metal and stone. They're smudge and splash proof. And if you're using them on ceramics, you can fix them in the oven at 160 degrees, and then the ink will be waterproof. So that's pretty cool if you wanted to use them on mugs or little trinket trays or something like that. Yeah, and they're odorless, so they're pretty awesome little marker. It was just giving me a weird vibe at the start because I really seriously thought it was a felt tip marker. So once I'd done the forest, and then I had that first page, which was the illustration of the kookaburra and myself, I decided to cut them out and make like a collage. So I have added glue to the box and scissors, but I figure everyone's gonna have glue and scissors lying around. I don't think I'm cheating. Hi, Echo. Has to get involved. She's been very, very clingy lately. She's been hanging out on my desk so much. So yeah, this is a really fun way to make new things out of your artwork and play around with composition without having to commit to composition. And I kind of wanted it to be a mixed media piece, a little bit surreal's not the right word, but I was taking inspiration from David Lynch's Dreamland and things in the forest, maybe not really quite making sense or not really quite looking like they would look if you were standing in front of it. And that's sort of like me being a bit otherworldly here, no color other than the clothing. The kookaburra is not sitting in the tree, but is still in the landscape. And then I use the paint pens directly to add in these sort of splotches around, which I took inspiration from the art print to do those. But as you can see, it really tears up the paper a little bit when you're doing layers. But I really, really like this piece. I think it came out really cool. Yeah, so highly recommend. Cut out your artwork and put it onto other artwork and just experiment. David Lynch would want that. I want that for you. Experiment, see what happens. Play with paint pens. Absolutely loved these supplies. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and consider subscribing to the channel for more art stuff. I do the unboxing of the Scrawlrbox every month, and then I also do lots of painting and working my sketchbook and all kinds of different stuff. So consider subscribing if you'd like to watch that. I hope you like this little artwork that I made, and give it a try. Draw some stuff, cut it out, stick it onto other artwork. It's really, really fun and gives you a whole new perspective on your art and allows you to play around with composition without having to like commit to actually doing the composition. Also, one thing I've noticed about the YouTube algorithm is that if you're not watching a channel consistently, like every time that they upload, those videos tend to drop off. And sometimes life just gets in the way. Sometimes you just discovered the TV show Traitors, and so you have to watch every season. Sometimes, you know, you're just doing other stuff. So if you hit the notification bell, you'll get notified every time I upload, and then my videos won't get lost to the algorithm with all the other videos. So that's just something I've noticed personally. Sometimes I will watch someone you know, week to week as they upload, and then all of a sudden, like if I miss a couple of their videos, they all of a sudden just don't start to get recommended at the top of my like homepage. And yeah, it's kind of frustrating, and I'll be thinking, what happened to that person? And then I'll look through my subscriptions and I'm like, they've uploaded 7 videos. So yeah, just that's a little tip. Hit the notification bell and you'll know every time I upload and you won't miss anything. All right, thank you. That's it. Bye.